A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant policy shift, the Trump administration has announced new oil drilling operations off the coasts of California and Florida, marking the first such expansion in these regions in decades. This move, aimed at boosting U.S. oil production, has sparked considerable backlash from environmentalists and local lawmakers who warn it could pose serious risks to coastal communities and ecosystems. The oil industry has long sought access to new offshore areas, particularly in Southern California and Florida, arguing that increased drilling will enhance U.S. energy security and create jobs. However, federal regulations have historically prohibited drilling in the eastern Gulf of Mexico, including offshore Florida and parts of Alabama, since 1995 due to concerns about potential oil spills. Similarly, California has not seen new federal leasing for offshore drilling since the mid-1980s, despite existing rigs in the area. Since taking office for a second time in January, President Trump has systematically rolled back policies aimed at combating climate change, instead championing what he terms U.S. energy dominance in the global market. The president has previously dismissed climate change as a hoax, and he established a National Energy Dominance Council to expedite the increase of U.S. energy production, particularly from fossil fuels such as oil, coal, and natural gas. In stark contrast, the administration has also blocked the development of renewable energy sources, including offshore wind projects, and canceled billions of dollars in grants that supported clean energy initiatives across the country. The announcement of the offshore drilling proposal has drawn bipartisan criticism, especially from lawmakers in Florida. Republican Senator Rick Scott has been vocal in his opposition, asserting that Florida's coasts must remain protected from oil drilling. In California, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom, a frequent critic of Trump, described the drilling plan as idiotic, emphasizing that tourism and clean beaches are vital components of the state's economy. The administration's 5-year plan includes 6 offshore lease sales from 2027 to 2030 along the California coast, as well as new drilling operations off the Florida coast in the Gulf of Mexico, at least 100 miles from shore. This new designation separates the targeted area from the eastern Gulf, where drilling has been prohibited under a moratorium signed by Trump during his first term. Industry representatives argue that the change is designed to address concerns from Florida officials who oppose drilling near their tourism-heavy coasts. In addition to the California and Florida proposals, the 5-year plan also includes more than 20 lease sales off the coast of Alaska, including a newly designated area known as the High Arctic, located over 200 miles offshore in the Arctic Ocean. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum stated that while it may take years for oil from these new leases to reach the market, the leasing plan is crucial for maintaining a strong offshore industry and ensuring job security for workers. The American Petroleum Institute hailed the new plan as a historic step toward unlocking offshore resources, pointing to California's history as an oil-producing state and the existing infrastructure that can support increased production. However, leaders in both California and Florida have expressed strong opposition to the plan. Florida Republican Senator Ashley Moody and Rick Scott have co-sponsored a bill to maintain the moratorium on offshore drilling that was established during Trump's first term. Scott emphasized the importance of protecting Florida's beaches and coastal waters, stating, "As Floridians, we know how vital our beautiful beaches and coastal waters are to our state's economy, environment, and way of life." Meanwhile, a spokesperson for Governor Newsom indicated that the Trump administration had not formally shared the drilling plan, but expressed concerns that the risky offshore drilling could endanger communities and undermine the economic stability of coastal economies. California has been a leader in restricting offshore oil drilling since the Santa Barbara oil spill in 1969, which catalyzed the modern environmental movement. Although there have been no new federal leases since the mid-1980s, drilling continues from existing platforms. Following a significant oil spill off Huntington Beach in 2021, Newsom has advocated for stronger offshore drilling controls and has supported congressional efforts to ban new drilling along the West Coast. The recent announcement coincides with Governor Newsom's attendance at the COP30 climate conference in Brazil, where he has been a prominent critic of Trump's environmental policies. Newsom referred to the offshore drilling proposal as dead on arrival in a social media post, indicating the strong opposition it is likely to face in both states. Democratic lawmakers, including California Senator Alex Padilla and Representative Jared Huffman, have warned that opening vast coastlines to new offshore drilling could jeopardize national security, damage coastal ecosystems, and threaten the health and safety of millions. In a joint statement, Padilla and Huffman condemned the proposal, asserting, "With this draft plan, Donald Trump and his administration are trying to destroy one of the most valuable, most protected coastlines in the world and hand it over to the fossil fuel industry." The federal government has not permitted drilling in federal waters in the eastern Gulf of Mexico since 1995 due to concerns about potential oil spills. California has existing offshore oil rigs, but no new leasing has been allowed in federal waters since the mid-1980s. As the Trump administration pushes forward with its energy agenda, the implications of this new offshore drilling plan remain to be seen. The potential environmental impacts, economic consequences, and the response from local communities and lawmakers will undoubtedly shape the future of U.S. energy policy and coastal protection efforts. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.